Hi everybody, James from Coughlins here. Now, a really common question that I get asked is whether a business should be registered for GST and how to then pay that GST to the ATO. So there are a couple of conditions that need to be satisfied for a business to register for GST. The most common condition is whether or not it's going to turn over $75,000 in a 12-month period. That's on a rolling basis, so it needs to be considered every month. Importantly, if you start up a business and you think it's going to go over that in the first 12 months of business, then you need to register from day one. For non-for-profit organisations, it's very similar. It's just that the cap is raised to $150,000 instead. And there are a couple of special cases as well, such as rideshare, so Uber and taxi limousine operations, where the legislation requires they actually have to register from day one, regardless of what their turnover is going to be. Now, if you are registered for GST, you're generally going to be lodging a business activity statement on a quarterly basis. So your business activity statement, or BAS, is a document you submit to the ATO advising of your GST obligations, as well as any other taxes that the ATO may require. Most commonly, this is your pay-as-you-go withholding for any employees, or your PAYG installments for your business taxes. Now, the ATO makes it pretty easy to lodge your BAS, but there's still some work that has to be done regarding the calculation of those numbers on that report. So firstly, you can lodge your BAS in several different ways. Number one, most accounting software, if it's on the cloud, now has an option to lodge directly with the ATO. You've just got to set that up. If you're a sole trader, you can lodge directly through MyGov. There's the ATO's online business portal. Now that's being phased as a new system coming out. And then there's also, you can use a registered tax or BAS agent to lodge on your behalf. That's really important. There's actually legislation there as to who can do it on your behalf, so make sure you check that out. If you do use a tax agent or a BAS agent to lodge on your behalf, you also actually get an extension on the due date of lodging your BAS and the payment terms. In terms of how your GST obligation is calculated, in a nutshell, you take how much GST you charged for your goods and services, and you subtract how much GST you've paid in paying for expenses, so your rent and any costs of selling those goods or supplying services. So if I had revenue of $11,000, so GST is $1,000, and expenses of $5,500, so GST is $500, my GST calculation would be 1,000 less 500 gives me $500 payable. Now, under the GST legislation, you need to keep receipts and records for this. So make it a habit to collect receipts and invoices for all your business transactions, especially for any cash transactions. If you don't like bits of paper everywhere, there's some really great apps that let you take pictures of those receipts and that will actually feed into a lot of different accounting software options. So then you can just throw that paper away. Keep in mind, the ATO can come back and ask you about what you've claimed in your BASs, so keeping proof is really important. Last but not least, make sure that you're lodging and paying your BAS on time. If you can't pay it on time, make arrangements with the ATO for a payment plan. Not engaging with it is one way to get the ATO on your back. So if you do need help with your GST or your BAS situation, reach out to Coughlins Accountants. Our details are below. We're always happy to have a chat about your situation.